Hello, it's me, Burbingish, and this video is going to be me going over development progress on my Detroit Become Human game so far. If you guys enjoyed this and want to see more of the development, then like and subscribe, and also, if you guys don't know what Detroit Become Human is, I recommend you at least go check out like a playthrough of it, because it is a pretty good game. But to summarize, for the first mission that I'm going to make, a cool android guy named Connor goes to a hostage situation at a rich family's house. He gets discriminated because he's a robot, you know. He has to find information about what's going on and all that, and also save the little girl that's being held hostage. And also the hostage taker is supposed to be the little girl's like caretaker android. So for day one, I actually did something a little unusual, since this was actually a project I tried before when I first saw Detroit Become Human, and I was like, damn, that's a cool game. I wanted to make like a small demo of the game. Not because it was in tribute of it, more so because I couldn't afford it and the demo calls my poor integrated graphics trash. But at that time I was also absolutely horrible at coding. But in spite of that, I was somewhat decent at one thing, and that was building, hence my Roblox username. So I pulled up the old file and refined it to what we have now. Pretty nice for something I threw together in an hour or so, but enough about the map, let's get into the scripting. First thing I worked on was the scan effect. Well, actually, the first thing I worked on was actually the character that I threw together. Isn't he nice? Well, anyways, for those who haven't played or seen Detroit Become Human before, the scan basically freezes everything in the game, like pauses it, gives you a little blue tint on your screen, and then shows you your objectives. So at first I tried to create the little screen distortion effect when you start the scan by zooming in and putting a round piece of glass in front of the camera, because Roblox doesn't have screen distortion effects and I gotta make do with what I got, you know. But I quickly realized that doing so caused some goofy Roblox rendering stuff to happen. So whenever you were looking through the glass, it would just cause meshes to disappear and anything slightly transparent to just go poof. So I scrapped that idea and settled for a blur effect with the zoom in effect. I also made it so that the lighting would change to black and white, both like the blue tint like in the actual game. But I felt like something was missing, so I've added in a little grid effect, expanding like I was actually scanning the area. Much better. I also added in the code to anchor everything whenever it would happen. But that's enough about the scan stuff. Let's move on to the prompts. And yes, I am going to make the opening cutscene. I just wanted to leave it when the other stuff are done, because I don't want to wait for an entire cutscene every time I want to test something. And off to day 2. Alright, day 2. For the first little event prompt thingy, whatever you want to call it, I made a little cutscene for inspecting the photograph that you can see right there. It's supposed to do a cool little effect, then it scans and pulls up all the profiles of the people inside the photo, like it's scanning like from a database or something, and like, you know. I first had to make the prompt system so that, you know, you could actually activate the cutscene. So I had to add like a little show up animation, a hold time, and all like an entire manager for that, but nobody cares about that, so let's move on to the actual interesting part. Here comes the interesting part, where I added little parts to mark where the camera is during parts of the animation. I named them Cam 1, Cam 2, Cam 3, and so on. This is for when I'm doing like this coding part of it. I know I don't have to like just have coordinates to mark where the cameras are, and I can actually physically manipulate them, right? I placed them all in a folder containing all of the objects that are actually important to the event, like a part marking where the player is supposed to be, a part marking where the player is supposed to be after the event, and like the actual prompt itself. So yeah, that's pretty nice. This cutscene was very easy to make animation wise. The actual game had him pick up the picture frame and then look at it, but I felt like that's a lot of work for something so insignificant, so I just kind of made Connor look towards the picture frame, and that was all the animation I needed for that done. During the part where the camera is facing the picture frame at like camera 3, I used the scan effect by firing a bindable event to the scan manager. And then for each of the people in the picture frame, it'll pull up like a little picture of them, like an ID picture, one where they're not like smiling, with their birthday and address on the bottom. I also changed the last name to Doe instead of Phillips as like a reference to John Doe, the Roblox myth, and Jane Doe, the soldier from Team Fortress 2. Yes, that is his name. You can search it up, I'm not lying. I also added a typewriter effect because, well, it looks cool. Plus, it gives the fancy tech feel this game is going for. It felt like something was missing, so I gave it a loading bar before showing like the profile. It makes it feel like it's actually pulling up the information instead of just being preloaded into the game. After I added that, I decided the photo scene, like the picture frame scene, looked good enough. So I started on the first part of the fish event, where you, as the player, get to choose whether you want to save a little fish that fell out of his tank or not. I made a little crouch down animation and then activated the scan effect. It's supposed to display like a little graphic of like fish, and then it's gonna tell you like what type of fish it is. And then after the scan effect goes away, you get the prompt of whether you want to save the fish or not. This event is supposed to be like you just showing humanity, because you know you're like prioritizing a fish's life instead of your mission, which is what you're programmed to do. So yeah, you guys probably don't care about that, so just get on with it. I'm just gonna get on with it. How I made this event was I first made the prompt for it so that it could actually be activated. Then I placed the camera bricks in the position I wanted them to go, just like last time. However, for this event I needed to animate both the character and the fish, so I had to install Moon Animator, like a Roblox Studios plugin, because it can do multi-rig animations. I know I could have just added the fish as like a joint to the character, but I decided that I'm just gonna spare myself the trouble using that method it's gonna cause me, and just make the fish like its own little animation rig. After that, I spent a long time making the animation not look all weird, because first time around the fish was delayed, second time around the fish flew out of the tank after being saved. Then after all that trouble, I finally got the animation looking good. Well, for my like non-animator standard anyways. And here it is. After that, I applied the same loading bar and profile thing from the last event. I made my own image, but I had to scrap the first rendition because...
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Oh, and in case you were wondering what the leave option looked like. Pretty sad, I know. You don't even get to like do it because the option is just gone. And again, if you guys want to see more of the development and maybe even play it when I release out the demo, then subscribe and just wait for the next video, I guess. Bye.